Good morning, Tucson and beyond. Sabine here again. I'm really happy with the response to my last video about what is HRV, so thank you so much for showing me interest in that. And I'm going to keep it going and start to talk about things in a little bit more detail. So this morning I'd like to talk a little bit about heart rate variability, HRV, and sleep in that relationship. And it's a very strong relationship. So you may be thinking, HRV sounds really cool, but how can I possibly apply this to my own wellness in a practical way? And there are many ways. So I would say the number one correlation that you want to know is that HRV and sleep are very directly correlated. So for example, if I'm meeting my sleep need most days, and I'm getting probably at least 80% of the sleep that my body and my brain actually need, then my heart rate variability is going to be higher. And this is because you have several different types of sleep cycles or sleep periods. So you have light sleep, you have REM sleep, and you have slow wave or deep sleep. And all three of these periods are essential. There's always going to be some amount of light sleep, some physical movement. And then the REM sleep, your brain's actually very active, calorically pretty much as active as you are during the day. So if you have really vivid dreams, it's not necessarily a break, but it is a time when the brain is sort of reorganizing itself. And it is an essential part of the sleep cycle. So definitely some changes with like memory consolidation and things like that. Sorry, I'm getting bitten by mosquitoes. That's why I'm scratching myself. And then with slow wave or deep sleep, this is the period of sleep where we believe the body is physically repairing itself. So essentially, if you are not allowing yourself to get into that phase of sleep, which for me, I feel like I monitor it, and I think it happens, after I've been asleep for a while. So you have to really sink into your sleep to get that that type of the sleep cycle. That slow wave sleep is really where your body is repairing the micro tears from exercise, or if you have an injury and you're healing from that, or if you're sick, if you're ill, your body is going to go to work. And it's actually where the vast majority of your human growth hormone is secreted, is during that phase of sleep. So for example, if you have some goals, let's say you're strength training, and you're putting in all of the good work at the gym, that work is probably going to harm you more than help you if you're not allowing yourself to get enough of sleep and enough of that deep sleep, where that human growth hormone can be released and can actually help your muscles adapt, because the exercise itself is actually an acute stress. It's damaging, but hopefully it's at a level where your body can bounce back from it, and it's because of the sleep. That's when that happens. So not to sound too preachy, but essentially if you want to have good overall health, you want to be resilient, especially in this time, and you want to maximize your fitness gains, then sleep is where it's at. So the reason why with heart rate variability they correlate so much, so if you think about it, when you're awake during the day, your sympathetic nervous system has to be somewhat engaged because you're up and about, you're metabolically more active, you're making decisions, so you do need that part of your nervous system mobilized during the day. But the period of time where it's going to be least active is generally going to be when you're asleep, because you are resting. And resting and digesting, basic organ function, all that stuff is parasympathetically driven. So that side of your autonomic nervous system is dominant when you sleep. And so a lot of devices that measure heart rate variability are measuring that variability from a period of your slow wave sleep. Some devices will actually take it in the morning as a morning readiness reading. So, oops. And so it's a good estimation of the activity of your vagus nerve overnight if you take it first thing in the morning. So so that's the correlation. So if you're wondering if you should get a little bit more sleep because you still feel kind of groggy in the morning. If you have the time, I highly suggest it. I know there are some days when you got to get up and go and make that early workout, and sometimes that is very much worth it. I did that the other day, in fact. But when it comes to long-term health and being able to physically and mentally repair yourself from the stresses of life, sleep is a #1 category that you should be emphasizing. And over time, if you are measuring your heart rate variability, you'll see that it will track upwards when you're allowing yourself to have those long, deep periods of rest, which may be a little bit longer than you think you need because you're used to surviving on 5 or 6 hours of sleep a night, which is actually not your biological requirement for most people. So that is today's video. And if you are interested in how this might be relevant to you personally, and maybe you have some specifics you want to ask me, because everyone in this equation is different, definitely send me a message. I'm happy to help tell you what devices I've been using, what I've learned from them, and maybe what the best approach is for you to start measuring yourself. So definitely let me know. And then also from a business standpoint, you don't want employees that are chronically fatigued. They don't have high work output, they don't make good decisions. And in the case of a healthcare professional, it's actually endangering the people that they work on. Their brains can only do so much. You can only do so many 12-hour shifts in a row. So definitely something to think about there. So if you're an individual or a business and you are wondering how you can start measuring this, send me a message. I'd be happy to chat with you. Hope you have a great morning.